Fleury. Welcome, Will.
I'm glad he finally took the fight. Took a while.
I'd never pull out of anyone. I'd never back down. If you want it, you will have it.
Karlos Vémola přijímá další obrovskou životní výzvu a 29.12. v O2 aréně se představí v titulovém zápase proti Billu Fleurymu.
I can absolutely destroy this guy.
Já jsem prostě bestie, kterou musíš zabít, kterou musíš zastavit, kterou musíš knockoutovat.
Look, this thing is just a game.
On tak strašně nechce prehrát.
Takhle se zavře a ve mně se něco změní.
You haven't been learning, you haven't been progressing.
Já jsem ten, který nese všechno na trh.
Genuinely. Like, look, I said it's going to be a first-round KO.
We are set. We are ready. Let's get this light heavyweight contest underway. Langer against Will Fleury.
He's going to decide how he gets knocked out based on the way he moves.
Oh.
There's a lot of options, but it's like he was going to do one of two things, and it was going to happen early. He didn't come forward. He backed up. So it was like one, back.
Oh my goodness, there you go! That is how you make a statement. Will Fleury.
And then he had a word with Karlos Vémola after the knockout. He pointed at him and said, "You're next."
There was a fear. You can feel that. You can see that. Yeah, he pulled back. He withdrew. He was like, whoa. If you're the big dog in the yard, someone comes barking at you, you bark back. He stayed very quiet.
Now, there's a man over here. Will Fleury's fresh as man. So we both done the business. Let's get in and do the business together.
You got no chance.
Let me smash him. I want him. He probably is the best fighter in the division right now. But the level is still so different.
Svět MMA respektuje muže, kteří splní, co slíbili. Před posledním tancem v kleci a ukončením bohaté kariéry se totiž Karlos Vémola rozhodl přijmout ještě jednu velkou výzvu. Šampion polotěžké a střední váhy je před očekávanou trilogií s Attilou Vegem připraven nastoupit do 46. duelu kariéry.
On tak strašně nechce prehrať. On to prostě nenávidí celým svojím ja. A urobí preto všetko, aby znova zvíťazil. A to je prostě na tom Karlosovi výnimočné a obdivuhodné.
Terminátor Vémola!
Já nejsem žádný talent, ale já už dřu prostě přes 30 let. Já jsem se k tomu prostě postupně propracoval, prodřel, párkrát jsem spadnul, párkrát jsem narazil, celá mě knockoutoval. Bylo mě to 5 let, ale oklepal jsem se a porazil jsem ho ten pás. Držím dodnes.
Tam je neuvěřitelný Karlos, právě Karlos vítězí. Karlos utáhnul Attilu na
Dokle se mě dokáže vrátit jenom Attila Veg, kdyby se rozhodl, že tím končí, já už bych nezápasil, já bych nenastoupil s Fleurym. Já proto, abych došel k tomu zápasu s Attilou Vegem, tak musím makat, musím trénovat. No a je prostě na pořadu dne, abych ten titul do té doby obhajoval a udržel a abych zápasil. Já to prostě nedokážu sedět a nic nedělat. Po Attilovi jsem měsíc odpočíval, nic jsem nedělala. Hrozně mě to prospělo. Plánoval jsem to i na Vánoce. Myslel jsem, že s Pirátem budu mít v listopadu zápas a že celý Vánoce nebudu nic dělat. Že si to konečně užiju. No, 10 let jsem Vánoce neměl, letos je zase mít nebudu, ale letos už je to naposled. Příští rok už Vánoce mít budem. Jaký to je pro mě, to je asi jedno. Spíš to je těžký pro rodinu, o to byste se museli ptát jich. Já jsem slíbil, že letos Vánoce budou v klidu, no tak děláme si pořádný Vánoce v lednu, to krásnější bude nový rok po vítězství ale prostě tak to někdy v životě je, něco si naplánuješ. V životě nejde všechno, jak jsi naplánoval, ale já mám skvělou ženu, která to chápe, ví, že to je součást mojí cesty, že tohle je celý můj život. Takže prostě některé věci takhle musí být.
Už jsem si na to zvykla, no. Už to je prostě nějaký zvyk prostě u nás. Už to tak nejako neberiem nejako tragicky, lebo od pár tých zápasov bolo. Ako samozrejme, bude chudák, že nebude môcť jesť čo my, že zase bude jesť niečo iné, ale myslím si, že už sme takí zohratí, že už to zvládneme, už to máme.
důležité je to, že jsem zdravý a že budu připravený, že do té autoreny jako nastoupím. A jak se cítím, s proměnutím, že to řekl blbě, potom nikomu nic není. Tohle je můj poslední důkaz všem hejterům, že jsem si zápasníky nikdy nevybíral. Nikdy jsem se nikomu neuhnul.
Jestli něco Karlos umí, on umí vygradovat tu formu na ten jeden večer. Máte nějakou 2-3 měsíční přípravu, výkon musí být ten večer dokonalý. A jestli tohle někdo umí, tak je to právě Karlos.
Co od něj očekávám, on tvrdí, že mě bude knockoutovat. Já si to úplně nemyslím, já si myslím, že je grappler, že se mnou bude chtít jít na zem a že ten zápas končí rychle, já tomu nevěřím. Já si myslím, že to bude delší zápas, že 3., 4. kolo zažijem a tam se začne teprve lámat chleba.
A na Karlosově je úžasný to, že i on v těch 38 letech se neustále dokáže vyvíjet a je to vidět jako na těch jeho zápasech. To s Attilou za mě byla masterclass a já věřím, že ten výkon předvede i s Fleury.
Může jenom získat, já můžu všechno ztratit a o to víc to chci, o to víc do toho makám, protože si uvědomuji, že já jsem ten, který nese všechno na trh.
On ukazuje, že prostě se dokáže připravit kdykoliv, na kohokoliv a Fleury je těžký soupeř.
Neexistují zkratky, existuje tvrdá dřina. Já jsem v Oktagonu x let, mám teď nepřijde nějaký Fleury, který si to vyřve kecama a po 2 výhrách se mě bude snažit připravit o pás, já mu ho prostě nedám.
Oh, well, I started sports way before I started MMA. So I was playing rugby from about 9. But I got into MMA because I broke my foot playing rugby.
From Dublin, Ireland, Will Fleury.
And then as soon as there was an option to fight, I was just like, yeah, I want to do this.
Winding up that left hand as he did there again.
I made my debut in 2016, but even before this, I had so many fights cancelled.
Well, took him back.
And MMA wasn't banned in Ireland, but it was effectively banned. So it was very hard to get anyone to organise a promotion or a card. And obviously I was 1-0 as a pro, so none of the international promotions were looking at me.
And suddenly it's all over.
And then thankfully I did a reality TV show out in Africa with the EFC. It took so long to be able to make my pro debut.
Moved into the power. The other was the battle.
Like, I don't think I'm doing this to be recognized. I think I'm doing this to make me happy. I love my life. Like, I love doing this. This is easy. All of this shit.
I think he's genuinely a Viking in 2024. He's a modern-day Viking who wants to murder and just completely win.
You know, he's a real warrior. Real warrior. He's a real Irish wild countryside man, you know. That's the part of the culture, you know. Madness.
I'm a massive underdog because it's more exciting. There's something more like real about the challenge of that. When everybody thinks you're going to get and you can absolutely destroy the guy, that's an incredible feeling. Yeah, when I'm training, I always listen to music. I think it gives you a vibe. This was my walkout tune in Frankfurt, so I thought it was really good for a stadium because it's just like bagpipes, fills the arena, kind of gives that vibe of like going to war kind of a thing. It's just like the energy just does something to my soul. I feel that like energy, and then you get the vibe and the movement comes with it. And look, music obviously has kind of a rhythm and you can hit to the rhythm at times, and sometimes you get in like sync with the song. And it's basically about dying, or like. So I think when I retire, I'm gonna play this as my last song. Being Irish is a huge part of my identity because fundamentally it is what I am. Like, I think culture is a funny thing because it's how much you buy into it. There's like a common Irishness, beautiful, like as in, I think we've like a very unique, because we're an island, I suppose, and we've had oppression over the years. You know, you look back to our history, we've had a lot of shit to deal with. No, I love Ireland. Like, I've traveled, I've been other places. I don't want to live anywhere other than Ireland though. The air, you know, it's funny the little things that you're just like, shit, I didn't realize how big a part of me this was until I lost it. Like, you know, I share the culture and I share the vibe of this island. this isn't even the Atlantic. When you get out to the Atlantic, it's wild. So like, sea here is kind of real, but on the West Coast, it's like raw. I choose everything I do, you know, like, you're like, oh, you have to eat all these foods, you have to do all this thing, like, you know, you have to be cutting weight. It's like, yeah, but I chose this. So many people in their jobs don't get a choice about what they do on a daily basis. If I wake up in the morning and I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling great today, yeah, I can take a day off. It's so easy. But like, this thing of like, oh, it's such a hard lifestyle, it really isn't. Get a proper job for a couple of years. See how hard this life is. This life is easy, you're so free. But the whole thing is choice. He's the same fighter he was 10 years ago, basically. Look, this thing is just a game. You haven't been learning, you haven't been progressing.
To už jsem slyšel milionkrát.
I don't hate him. He's an amazing opportunity to come and show what I am.
Přijde ten večer, jsme 20 000 lidí, kteří mě ženou dopředu. Takhle se zavře a ve mně se něco změní. Já po tobě furt budu. Od začátku do konce budu. Budu chtít vyhrát, budu chtít dominovat, budu chtít dokazovat, že chci vyhrát.
Současný šampion!
I can absolutely destroy this guy. And I can do it in an emphatic way.
If you want to become a legend, you go to beat a legend. That's what he wants to do, but I don't believe in shortcuts.
I'm not on his level. I'm 5 levels above this guy.
He's probably going to become a champion, but not this year. You know, I'm going to keep the belt. I'm going to retire when I won. Moje největší přání je, aby jsme Fleurymu ukázali, že ne irský fanoušci jsou ty nejlepší na světě, ale že Československo a Oktagon mají ty nejlepší fanoušky a zažije ten kotel. Doufám, že mě lidi budou hnát dopředu, protože to je to, co ho zlomí.
Do you think this will bother me at all? Energy in any form. If you're there to watch your guy smash me, great. Watch what's gonna happen.
Já věřím v čísla, věřím to, že všechno je někde napsané a je to můj 7. MMA zápas v O2 aréně, což je pro všechny bojovníky si myslím obrovská svatyně.
I'm going to knock the shit out of you in impressive fashion. And I'm going to do it in a smooth, beautiful, clinical way.
Já jsem prostě bestie, kterou musíš zabít, kterou musíš zastavit, kterou musíš knockoutovat.
Purchase the pay-per-view and be transported to a front row seat for the entire tournament from the comfort of your own home on Oktagon.tv.
Big shots from Ronny Paradiso. He's done it! He's done it! One and done. Ronny Paradiso claims his spot in the Tip Sport Game Changer finale.
Takhle velký zápas jsme vlastně nikdy nedělali a je to zápas dvou kluků, kteří jsou absolutní vlastně světová špička. Sem tam přijde někdo, kdo je prostě jiný než všichni ostatní a Keita má v tuhle chvíli neuvěřitelné množství energie.
Ronny has exceeded everybody's expectations, not just his potential, but what he is actually delivering as far as performances.
Every fight we see him get better and more devastating.
Beyond doubt that they are the best lightweight in all of Oktagon MMA. It means everything to them.
Ak vyhrá niekto Tip Sport Game Changer, je to už s ním po celý život.
So yeah, it's gonna be bitka.
The first fight between Keita and Ronny was so close. It was such an incredible battle, and they were both coming up and rising at the same time.
It was my first time doing 5-round fight, fighting in front of that crowd.
Celú dobu som to bral, že chcem mať tie výzvy. Keitu som videl ako veľkú výzvu.
Keita's toughest test ever so far was definitely Paradiso.
Paradiso took him down.
Keita gets out.
The first couple I hit him, I was like, okay, it's so easy to hit him.
Nečakal som takú rýchlosť.
tam asi nevyšiel tých prestrelek, tak to si inkasoval. To bol taký moment, kde som sa fakt bál, že môže dojsť do toho knockoutu, že na zaspatie.
A v 4. kole mi predným jabom zlomil nos.
And Paradise has slowed down a lot.
A odtiaľ to už išlo dole kopcom. Strašne krvi sa mi valilo sem do hrdla a zle sa mi dýchalo.
Paradise looks wobbly to me.
And the new interim champion coming from the blue corner, Lausanne, Black Panther, Keita.
Keita proved to the world in that fight that he isn't just a talker, he's a brilliant fighter.
This guy moves to 9-0, and the rising star of Oktagon MMA continues to rise.
I was supposed to lose. They didn't know me, and now I shocked the world.
Whoa, I beat somebody like RONY in 5 rounds. How is that possible?
Nebol som mentálne tak silný, aby som dokázal to tempo držať. Nemal som ani to také vysoké tempo, ako on bol vtedy v ten deň, bol určite lepší. Ukázal mi, ktoré veci mám zmeniť. Donútil ma vlastne akoby odísť tej ofy, ísť do lepšieho gymu.
It was the first time Keita fought 5 rounds, so we as coaches, it was good for us. We saw all the faults, so it was a very good lesson for us.
A s Keitou máme tu rivalitu odtedy, čo vlastne ja som začal od toho zápasu vyhrávať. Už som si povedal, že OK, on je šampión, ja som jednotka.
RONY, Paradise.
Už som ho vyzýval, ale Keita si povedal, že je do 60, čo mu úplne nerozumiem.
After our fight, go back again against him. For me, it doesn't make no point. Because lightweight, you see me in the cage with this guy, I'm not even big.
That's it!
He was talking, I was beating people up, and he was fighting bullshit fighters. That's the thing of RONY. Sometimes he forced it, but he don't know things like some things gonna need to come naturally.
The Tipspot Game Changer proves that Oktagon is the biggest promotion in Europe.
The Tipspot Game Changer always brings a different sort of energy.
Both drop each other.
Oh, the right hand! Oh my goodness!
Nic podobného žádná organizace na světě neudělala.
All these fighters from across the continent are desperate to compete in this €1 billion competition.
He has done it! His name is carved in history!
I was following it the first years. I was in the arena that day in the final. I was saying, yeah, this is a dream. I signed Game Changer for everything. I want to be the best. I want the money. Actually, I want everything that people told me before I couldn't have it.
Keita Sardary, Tipspot Game Changer, prvé kolo.
Keita se samozřejmě vracel po zlomené noze.
And took on one of the best in Europe in Agi Sadari.
Former two-time Cage Warriors champion. He has only been finished once in his entire career.
Keita definitely had to pass that test.
Oh, nice uppercut from Sadari.
Hey, good shot, lad.
So yeah, it was basically not the best Keita.
Oh, Keita's dropped!
Vôbec som nečakal, že Sardary takto zatopí Keitovi, prevedil ho z každej strany.
Going for the takedown now.
He was a black belt, and I was like, a black belt, I'm hurt, he couldn't finish. Imagine what I would do to this guy when I'm 100% fit.
He survived and he got through it, but definitely the worst we've seen in Keita.
For me, that fight was my best fight ever because it showed me how good I am. These guys couldn't beat me on my worst day.
Black Panther, Lausanne, Keita.
He's gonna be a fighter, I think. Look, he's already. Be a father is something great, actually, something great. Especially if my kid look like me. He can do whatever he wants as long he is doing a sport. Because for me, sport changed my life. He need to come to the gym, meet friends. He need to go outside, meet friends.
Wesh,
Lozen Keita, okrem toho, aký je zápasník a človek, je úplne unikátny tým, aký má fanúškovskú crew okolo seba.
Chez nous, c'est naturel. Il a grandi avec nous, donc pour nous, c'est naturel d'aller le soutenir tout le temps.
We came together from the bottom, and now we see one of us going to the top is something you can't describe. It's Keita who's do this, but for me it's like it's me.
Není úplně běžné, aby někdo se s vámi takhle dělil vlastně o svůj úspěch a vy jste měl pocit, že jste toho součástí.
I will do the same also for them. And they mean a lot for me, and mean a lot for me.
The first time when he went to Brno, he asked me, can we do something to go together? I said, okay, let me manage some minibuses to go to there.
Puis on était un petit groupe, et avec le temps qu'il a commencé à se battre et on a commencé à s'agrandir au jour d'aujourd'hui, on va à ces combats à 200, 300 personnes facilement.
Keita is not fighting alone, we are fighting with him.
Attila, the fearless Korkmaz. This man has made his career fighting in some of the biggest promotions.
Zápas s Korkmazom ma stál možno 10 rokov mojho života, mám pocit. Neviem, jak je možné, že som vôbec nastúpil na ten zápas. Ja som mal antibiotika, a po tých antibiotikách som chytil COVID.
My sa reálne tam trénovali fakt, že 2,5 týždňa. Takže my sa tam vlastne nemali, že kondičnú prípravu, žiadnu.
Solid right hand from Korkmaz.
Nice jab, Korkmaz responds.
Nevedeli sme prenášať tie veci, ktoré sa robia do toho zápasu, že vlastne idete bod 1, bod 2, bod 3. Proste to bolo iba, že z bodu 1 do bodu 4.
Tough job for the judges, this one.
Zvládol som to mentálne.
Great drag. Bogdanovic believes he saw holes in the game of Keita that excites him to test him.
They say that it is very difficult for me, but going there against a guy he was 16-1, didn't scare me at all.
He did what Keita does. He hits and he doesn't get hit.
That was a big shot.
Keita looking for the finish here. That is it. Lozen Keita has earned his spot in the semi-final.
I thought this could be the time we see Keita fall inside the Oktagon cage because a better man is stood in front of him.
Oh, big shot to the midsection.
He controlled the cage well in impressive fashion, but didn't push too hard for a finish.
I can even punch him more, but some stuff I was like, the final is there, no injury, you are winning. You don't care.
Oh, there's that right overhand.
And first finalist of Tip Sport Game Changer Lightweight Pyramid for €1 million, Lozen Black Panther Keita!
Príprava na Torresa bola už dobrá, tam som sa už trošku spamätoval z toho covidu a trošku do tela začalo fungovať.
Daniel Torres, who a lot of people believed coming into Oktagon MMA was going to be the guy to really make an impact in the lightweight division, and Paradisa made him look stupid.
Precision, timing, beautifully timed takedown.
Zatím je to masterclass od Ronyho.
Last semi-finalist of this for game changer, RONY, Ronald Paradeiser.
The second and final of our semi-finals.
A proto všichni společně jedeme!
Keita, Duque, Ronald, Ronny Paradisa. Oh, look at the head kick coming up. Oy. Oh, that left hand blocked him. Big shot from Ronny Paradisa. He's done it! He's done it! One and done. Ronny Paradisa claims his spot in the Tip Sport Game Changer finale.
It just shows how far Paradisa has come since his last fight with Keita.
S Keitom máme dlhú rivalitu. Mali sme bojovať o pás už v Ostrave, on vtedy išiel radšej do šešesky. Teraz sa pobijeme o pás, pobijeme sa o 300 000 eur a ten vrchol európskeho MMA. Extrémne sa to teším a pozývam Keitu do klecky.
Now is the time. God have planned for everything. Now I have something to fight for.
Ja už ani neviem, či to je tento rok, alebo posledných 5 rokov, alebo koľko to je. Šialené, no, jedným slovom šialené to obdobie bolo a je stále vlastne.
Vždy z toho kempu chodím na víkendy domov, akože chcem byť s nimi. Si neviem predstaviť, že by som bol 4 týždne v kúse preč.
Tie víkendy sú tým pádom také, že nás to tak zbližuje ako rodinu, že sa na tie víkendy tešíme, že si viac seba ako keby tak vážime.
Žena si to utrpí celé, lebo však je s dvomi chalanmi doma. Není najľahšie, oni sú proste dve malé stíhačky a stále majú nejaký problém.
Počúvajte, nežúraj do mňa, hej.
Ron je rodič proste, on naozaj, on mne nepomáha, on vychováva reálne, on sa stará o deti.
Fakt sa snažím tým deckám dať ten čas s nimi, tú pozornosť. No na Arturo vidím, že keď som doma, venujem sa také vysmiatý, je to iný. Keď nie som doma, tak je taký smutnejší, inak reaguje na veci. Sme nejaký tím a chceme sa postarať o tú rodinu čo najlepšie a ten Tip Sport Game Changer mi zase otvorí veľa dverí na to, aby sme sa mali ako rodina lepšie.
You have the title, there is the money, there is pound for pound. He is higher in the ranking.
Everybody knows Keita is one of the best strikers in Europe, maybe in the world. We don't understand why RONY is number 1 pound for pound.
I only need 30 seconds to see Paradiser and I know how I can beat him.
Ja som za posledných 8 zápasov 8 vyhral, od Keitu som neprehral a doručil som 3 výkony večera. Myslím si, že viac to akoby nejde spraviť, aby ste si zaslúžili to prvé miesto.
He fought midgets, you know?
Aj Keita je proti mne trpaslík, keď to tak vezmeme, hej, takže každý bude
But this one beat you, right? One of my toughest fights in my career right now. He is very good, so win or lose, he's still a good fighter. I'm never gonna take that away from him. He is a good fighter. But he's gonna lose. That's it. Now it's Keita. It's Keita time.
This preparation is a little bit different. It's a little bit harder than the rest. We started a little bit earlier also, so it's going to be one of the hardest preparations we ever did with him.
He's very smart, but I know he has at each aspect he has more. There are no limits for Keita. I think sky is the limit.
I never had an athlete so explosive, powerful, and who has this level of conditioning as well.
Mentálna sila je absolútne neuveriteľná. V jeho svete neexistuje slovo prehra.
The only thing I'm driving is being number one.
Je trouve que c'est le combat le plus important de sa vie, parce qu'à part le titre, c'est le moment de vraiment s'illustrer au monde entier et de passer des caps.
Ronny, you think I do all the training to lose against you? I'm gonna come for you. I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna be a champ again. I'm gonna do it. Talk about it and do it. See you in 2 hours now.
Keď si myslíte, že ste najlepší, tak ste jeden kročík od prehry. A nikdy si nebudem myslieť, že som najlepší na svete a viem, že ten super ma tam ide poraziť. A s tým tam proste idem, že ten super ma porazí. A nemu sa to môže aj podariť. Ale sakra, ja na to pripravím na všetko, aby som vyhral. Sakra, ja dám všetko na to, aby ja som porazil toho supera, aby som ja ho zdominoval.
Rony je takový ten dieselový motor, který krásně se rozjel, i vyhrál 8 zápasů v řadě a vypadá to, že tenhle ten vlak jen tak nezastaví.
Ні до порівняння, який був заводник там от 2 років тому, який є зараз, є дуже моцніший, дуже небезпечніший. When Ronny will catch him, fight it will end.
Podľa mňa vo finálovom zápase bude stať úplne iný Ronny.
Ronny has developed in ways that Keita hasn't. Keita is still the same Keita, still extremely dangerous on the feet, but we have seen the little holes. We've seen Ronny fix the holes. So that's why this rematch is so intriguing.
Everybody say he evolved a lot. I want to see how he evolved a lot. I really want to see that. How? Why?
Držet trofej vítěze Tipsport Game Changerů znamená opravdu hodně. Ten moment se zapíše do té historie trošku jinak než všechny ty ostatní.
The Tipsport Game Changer final is going to be brilliant. We have the best two pound-for-pound fighters in all of Oktagon MMA.
This fight really is going to be the biggest fight of the year for Oktagon.
Nielenže v hre je 300 000 eur, trofej víťaza Tipsport Game Changer, ale ešte aj titul šampióna Oktagonu ľahkej váhy.
It's for life. My children gonna know it. My grandchildren gonna know it.
Je to statement. Je to potvrzení toho, že patříš mezi světovou elitu.
If I cannot be the best in the Oktagon, who am I to say I'm gonna be the best in the world?
This is his blood on my head. And that belt, I take away for him.
On furt bude kričať, že ma porazil. Jasne, porazil ma pred 2,5 rokmi.
Since Keita beat him, he's been desperate to pull this one back. He's been desperate for his revenge.
For Ronny, the most important is a rematch. Because if he didn't was a rematch, I think so he will not put on the line title shot. There for Ronny, it's all or nothing.
Ronny, it's nothing personal, but
The epic Oktagon 65 tournament, Oktagon's sacred ground, and 3 title fights in one night. The electrifying finale of the Tipsport Game Changer €1 million pyramid between Slovakia and Belgium. RONY Paradisa versus Lausanne Keita. 2 champions in a battle with everything at stake. To be crowned the greatest lightweight fighter in Europe. To become #1 in the pound-for-pound rankings. And to go home with €300,000 and the Oktagon belt. Will Paradisa avenge the defeat he suffered at the hands of Keita 2 years ago? Or will Keita become the king of Europe and champion of 2 Oktagon weight categories in one night? After claiming revenge over Attila Bey, a legend is about to return to the cage. 3-time ruler of the light heavyweight division, Karlos Vémola. In his final duel for the Oktagon throne at the O2 Arena, he'll be going up against the current division #1, Irish Tornado, Will Fleury, who plans on finishing Vémola in the first round. The queen of Czech women's MMA, PUDILOVÁ, is going to take on the exceptionally talented Cecilia Bolander. Their first fight was very evenly matched, and PUDILOVÁ pulled out a close win in the end. Their upcoming rematch is going to be an even tougher fight, and this time the winner will claim the bantamweight title. Magard wants to reinforce his position as the clear #1 in the bantamweight division and fight for another shot at the championship belt. However, dreaded executioner Igor Severino will be standing in his way. One of the most brutal shootouts of the year, Radovan Ushgerd versus Daniel Schwind, in the battle of finishers, both of whom have secured all their victories by way of finish. And you can also look forward to the reserve fight in the Tipsport Game Changer final. The Double Cage Warriors champion Agi Sadari will take on the rising MMA star Ognjen Dimic from Serbia. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the highlight of the year. Oktagon 65, Paradisa versus Keita 2. Purchase the pay-per-view and be transported to a front row seat for the entire tournament on Oktagon.tv.
Dámy a pánové, chlapci a děvčata, moji milí samurajové, vítejte v tomto posledním nedělním odpolední v O2 aréně na turnaji Oktagon 65 a znamená to pro nás celý svět, že jste si udělali čas na tuhletu poslední společnou party s Oktagonem. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in O2 Arena Prague, and I believe that this is gonna be something special. My name is Ondřej, Filip Harburger, German voice of Oktagon, and also Brian Lacey, English voice of Oktagon. Welcome, gentlemen.
It's good to be here, Andre, back in the mecca of Oktagon in Prague for the biggest fight card we've ever done.
Definitely. So we will break up a little bit the main card because those 5 fights are unbelievable. So we have to start probably with the last one, Triple Crown King. And I can go strictly for the results. Who's going to be winner and why?
Well, I would say RONY has very good chances to win this fight because since their last fight, he has made such a great development. And I mean, he's much heavier than Lausanne Keita, who's probably going to give him a very hard time in the first 2 or 3 rounds. But I see RONY win, maybe on points or maybe on submission.
€300,000 for winner, lightweight bout, and also a pound-for-pound king. Is it going to be RONY or Keita?
And listen, I knew you would ask me this, and I find it difficult because I think I'm going to do the cliche. The fans win this one. Sometimes in sport, 2 people are born and they just become the same part of the generation. You know, you look at the Djokovic and Federer, Prost versus Senna, in mixed martial arts, in Oktagon. These 2 guys have built a rivalry, not out of, you know, bad trash talk or anything like that, out of sportsmanship, out of greatness, and tonight they go for the Triple Crown.
I have to say, there is something special about Keita because the aura, it was unbelievable. Just this morning, he was training, preparing himself, and there was around 200 people clapping, making fun, you know. It was unbelievable just for the warm-up before the fight. And I also believe that many of the Czech fans will rooting for him, so we will see who's going to be the second Tipsport Game Changer winner. We also got 2 more title fights, and last dance in O2 Arena for Karlos Vémola against toughest opponent in last 12 years, Will Fleury.
Well, I mean, Will Fleury is an absolute scary opponent. I mean, you can feel the earth moving when he walks into the cage, and he showed in Frankfurt what kind of knockout power he has, and I think today he's going to show us this kind of knockout power probably again.
He's never faced an opponent like Karlos Vémola, though. And for me, the walkout of Karlos, the moment he creates, and when that cage door shuts, we've seen big fighters like Alexander Ilić crumble under that pressure. For me, it's how Will Fleury handles that moment, because it's one thing doing a face-to-face with Karlos, it's another thing being locked inside a cage with him.
What I would love to see is that this O2 Arena, sometimes that relationship between the fans and Karlos was quite shaky. Not too many people like him against Attila. Then again, he took them on his side. And today, I believe that this O2 Arena will totally 100% in his back. They will rooting for him in his last dance in O2 Arena. And I believe they will try to help him to win. But this fight is not easy for Karlos. And we will see something unbelievable. Also, Lucie Pudilová and Cecilie Bolander, they have some past between them. It was in September in Brno. It was a really close fight, and now we got it here for a second time.
It's so exciting to see them match up again. And the thing with Oktagon 61, when they first fought, it created one of the best fights we've had of this year. And 2024 has been spectacular. But now both girls have had a full fight camp. Bolander has the bit between her teeth. She doesn't just want the belt. She wants to avenge that loss against, Pudilová. So we shall see. I think it will be the one that could steal the entire show tonight.
It's also not easy to say who will win, but who you got?
Well, she trained for 5-round fight, so I would root for Pudilová for this one.
Okay, so we got 10 fights. We got some games for you, and also one of you from the arena will be millionaire today. So I believe that we can start. Dámy a pánové, tohle je poslední show letošního roku, Oktagon 65, a doufám, že se budete bavit. Začínáme právě teď. We can start just now.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to Oktagon 65. I am Luke Barnett. I will be joined very shortly by Brian Lacey. As mentioned there, one of the biggest events we've ever done, and maybe the biggest of the year here. Always end of the year at Oktagon MMA, we try and put on the biggest events, the biggest shows in the home of Prague at the O2 Arena. Karlos Vémola returning. And that moment, his walkout will be epic against one of the toughest tests he's ever had in Will Fleury. Those 3 title fights, obviously, ending up with our main event, Brian Paradisa taking on Keita in the rematch that everyone has wanted to see since they announced the Tipsport Game Changer.
Yeah, 1,034 days since they last faced off, and tonight they will go for the Triple Crown. Luke Barnett, for one last time this year, talk us through the rules of the Oktagon MMA cage.
Well, mixed martial arts will take place in the cage, which is shaped as a circle, and we call it the Oktagon cage. Standing up techniques will be utilized for boxing, Thai boxing, karate, taekwondo, and anything you can name. If it continues to the ground, you'll see wrestling, jiu-jitsu, sambo, and any sort of submission attacks. Fights are contested over 3 rounds. Obviously, tonight we have 3 title fights. There will be 5 5-minute rounds. And if you can get a win by a knockout, TKO, referee stoppage, submission, and if it goes to the judges' scorecards, we will have the deciding factors of effective striking, grappling, aggression, control of the octagon real estate, and techniques that have impact and damage. Damage is the most important thing in the fighting for our judges. They will be looking for damage, and they'll be looking for aggression and area control from our fighters.
So there are the rules of the Oktagon MMA cage. And now we are set and ready for this, a historic night. This is the fight card in front of us. The prelims, of course, to whet your appetite, our YouTube free prelim. Batfalski taking on Toporza. Toporza making his debut. Batfalski returning to Oktagon after a 2-fight win streak outside the promotion. Gapal versus Bayrami. Bayrami absolutely elated to be making his debut against a well-known face in Peter Gapal. Novak versus Karela. We'll see Slovakia versus Finland. Tikota versus Aslana. We'll see the Czech Republic take on the returning German Aslana, and then Sedari versus Dimic. Ognjen Dimic taking this fight on short notice to step into the Tipsport Game Changer reserve fights. What a way that is to start, Luke. Top to bottom, we have exciting fights, and we start with this one. 2 of the biggest prospects from the Czech Republic and Slovakia. Jakub Batfalski, he lost his first fight in Oktagon, talked openly about getting caught in the moment, literally as the cage door shut, froze, wasn't able to, be himself, let off his skills and succeed as he wanted, but now he's earned his chance to return. And Dominik Toporza has fought on other promotions across the Czech Republic and Slovakia, and now he says, this is my time. I want to make this a successful debut, and Oktagon, my home for the future.
In front of a packed-out O2 arena, Jakub Batwalski will enter the most important fight of his career in the clash between Czechia and Slovakia. He'll be going up against a revered name on the domestic scene, Dominik Toporza.
Oh, lands the right hand.
Batwalski is an amateur champion of Slovakia and Czechia. Before entering the pro MMA world, he's notching up 32 victories. He currently has 5 pro wins, 3 of which he scored in the opening round. An amateur MMA champion of Slovakia, Dominik Toporza has collected 13 scalps as a pro. Inside the cage, the man who goes by the nickname El Diablo thrives under pressure. He scored all 4 of his wins in the opening round. In his Oktagon debut, he'll be going up against an equally well-rounded opponent, known for his meticulous preparation and well-thought-out game plans.
So here we go, time to get this event underway. 10 fights ahead of us, and we kick off with this beautiful matchup between 2 of the biggest prospects coming out of Slovakia and the Czech Republic. First to make the walk is this man, El Diablo, Dominik Toporza, 21 years of age, from Slovakia, representing that pit gym and also Shark top team over in Poland. 4-2 as a professional, all 4 wins by finish, 2 knockouts, 2 submissions, and I was very impressed with him at the press conference, the Oktagon Time press conference yesterday, Luke. The press certainly feel that he is one to keep their eye on, and they're looking forward to this debut, but he handled it brilliantly. He spoke extremely well, eloquently, and as you can see now, he looks to be relishing the moment, and that was the issue with his opponent before, Batwalski. When he made his debut, he crumbled under this pressure. By the time he made the walk to the cage, he said he was so aware of everything around him that he couldn't dial into the fight. Look at this guy though, El Diablo Toporza. There's hype behind him, Luke, and now the spotlight, the bright lights of the Oktagon cage shine on him as well.
Yeah, it feels like Dominik is someone that rises to that challenge and enjoys every moment. And for Batwalski, that's a problem, because this guy will bring it. He will bring aggression, and you saw, like you said at the press conference, he's not afraid of going back and forth, and has that aura about him almost at such a young age. And that can make it even harder for Batwalski to get into his rhythm. I mean, he's very, very aggressive, comes forward and looks for early finishes. So if he can put the pressure on Batwalski early on in his first round, I feel like that's a good key to victory for him, as we know Batwalski can crumble under the pressure.
There was a little joke as well on the weigh-ins as they stared down. Dominik Toporza grabbed the cauliflower ear of Batwalski and sort of said, are you going to be looking to take me to the ground? What's the plan here? But it's dangerous to pick that poison, because you look at the fights of Toporza. 2 of his wins are by submission, both different submissions, 1 an armbar, 1 a guillotine. A little bit of mind games in there, Luke, as well, playing in, almost laying the gauntlet, making the challenge, maybe trying to tease him into the world where he really wants this fight.
And I feel like that's when he's particularly dangerous, when you overextend looking for a takedown out of fear from pressure, and you leave something open like the guillotine. So if he does a lazy double leg, it could be a problem. So maybe trying to bait him into that.
So here we go. And again, we talked about last time making the walk, Batwalski, and, you know, crumbling under that pressure. Totally different. He's gone for the full rock star headliner walk out here. Hart Rico, one of the rising rap stars on the Czech and Slovak scene, a good friend of Jakub's, walking him out. And again, you look at the difference in the energy, and even Jakub said yesterday that I learned a lot. I had to go away. I had to, you know, take fights in another promotion. One of which was against PK Zahade. He got that victory in his last fight and basically broke down in tears on the mic. Said, look, I lost my chance. You got to understand, as a kid, I've watched Oktagon. My dream was to be there. I just felt I was there at the wrong time. Now, 2 fights since that, 2 victories. He feels ready, and he's coming out like a rock star tonight.
I mean, fake it till you make it. It looks a little bit awkward to me still. Even in this moment, you can see him singing along with the song. but I feel like he's feeling the nerves. And maybe he's trying to do all of this to cover that, and it would be a good way to do it. But Bartfowski is an extremely talented young mixed martial artist, and I think it's if he can just get over this hurdle of nerves and fear just before the fight and the walkout. I think putting this on himself, this extra pressure coming out. I mean, if you saw on Instagram, the whole look he's trying to portray. You know, he's looking in the mirror, pretending to sing, uploading these funny videos, and trying to be that superstar aura. I don't think he has it yet, but at least he's trying to cultivate it, which shows that he's not afraid to cultivate it. So we'll see. To me, he still looks a little bit nervous coming in here, but I think when the door closes and when the bell rings, we'll see a completely different man.
Yeah, and he's getting the final checks now before he comes in. But again, we're talking about these young fighters on this big stage as men. They're still 21 and 22 years of age, respectively. And again, Bartfowski as well. Not just a good pro record now, so his 4 of his 5 pro wins are by finish, 2 knockouts, 2 submissions. But his amateur record is outstanding, Luke. 33 and 5 as an amateur, and you know, seeing that he struggled in that last fight to really let himself go. His camp, his team, even the commentators were talking to us about the potential that this guy has. So if he can loosen up and be himself in the cage, we could be seeing a future star in this promotion.
Yeah, I think this could be the moment for him tonight. You know, the curtain puller for tonight's card. But you know, very, very big honor here in Prague at the O2. We're filling out early doors. There were so many people outside waiting to get in this building, Brian.
Yeah, so here we go. Height and reach is the big number on the difference with the tail of the tape. 184 to 175. 21 versus 22. 5 and 1 versus 4 and 2 there. But look at the tip spot odds. Bartfowski firmly in favor with the bettors here in the Czech Republic and Slovakia. This is our opening fight of the night. This is a featherweight contest scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds should they need them. What we do need is a man with a mic and a fantastic jacket to kick this off. So let's hand him to it now. Let's make it official and hand it to Ondrej Novotný.
Tak ještě jednou, dámy a pánové, vítejte v Praze v O2 aréně, turnaj Oktagon 65, první zápas dnešního večera na Free Prelims, také na YouTube Oktagon. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready in Prague O2 Arena for the very first fight of this evening. Featherweight bout, 3 5-minute rounds, and the referee in charge is Václav Přibyl. Let me introduce you both fighters, and we will start in the blue corner. He's 21 years old, 175 centimeter tall, 65.8 kilos. Big Jim Levochan, Shark Top Team. Coaches in his corner are David Keťuch, Mariusz Radziszewski, and Patrik Židek. He has a professional record of 6 fights, 4 wins, 4 finishes, and only 2 losses. Representing Neruda Cup Team, Tip Sport, and fighting out of Slovakia, Dominik El Diablo Toporcer. Across the cage in the red corner, 22 years old, stands 184 centimeter tall, 66.3 kilos. Oktagon Team Češin, Drakulino Frídek Místek and Kik Wolf Havířov. Coaches in his corner are Michal Mankiewicz, Robert Franěk and Sean Avecian. He has a professional record of 6 fights, 5 wins, 4 finishes and only 1 loss. Fighting out of Czech Republic, Jakub Bartfowski.
Pánové, 3 kola po 5 minutách, poslouchejte moje instrukce, jestli chcete, pojďte si ruce, běžte do svých ruk, hodně štěstí, pánové.
Set and ready we are for this, our opening bout. Václav Přibyl will take charge of this opening contest, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Toporcer making his debut, white shorts, blue corner. Bartfowski returning to the Oktagon MMA cage, looking for his first victory in the black shorts, red corner. And me, Brian Lacey, alongside Luke Barnett calling the action.
If Bartfowski can get his long weapons working early, shots through the middle, teeps, kicks, and those jabs and that right hand, he can then take over this fight, I believe. But if he allows Dominik to pressure him and he allows him to take that no-man land, that space in between the two of them and come forward, he could be in for a hard night. At the moment, Bartfowski looking early start, nice and fast, nice and sharp.
Yeah, again, you see the height and reach difference. One thing with Toporcer, though, he has a very heavy overhand right, which is the kryptonite to a taller fighter. And he likes the counter as well, but then much looser. You look at this compared to the first minute of Batfalski's last outing in the Octagon cage, and much more. Look at that snap on the jab, Luke.
Yeah, I'd just say with the jab, he is stepping a little bit left. Beautiful head kick there, though. When he throws that jab, he needs to be careful. Like you said, he doesn't move into that right hand. Nice counter jab there as well. But at the moment, straight away, pressuring his man up against the fence. There's that overhand. Pressuring his man up against the fence, controlling the real estate very, very nicely, and going over the top of the gloves there with his own overhand as well, those long limbs.
You often talk about it as well in fights, controlling that real estate, and that's exactly what he's doing, right? He's not giving any option for Toporza to use that lateral movement to get away from those shots.
Yeah, and then Toporza's stuck, he can't back up, so he can't evade the damage. So that beautiful shot.
Big shot, heavy, heavy hands. Batfalski now raining down the elbows. This could be it, Luke. This could be it. That might, and it is. What a return to the Octagon cage for Jakub Batfalski.
Easy work for Batfalski. Faked that jab and came round the hands with the left hook. Dropped his man, and Dominic just looked completely stuck. Covered up straight away, got overwhelmed, and then got taken out. TKO victory with the ground and pound. Great work here from Jakub Batfalski.
I think he just jacked his back as he landed up the cage there, but he's young. He'll recover from that, Luke, right?
I hope so.
Hey, but that performance was worthy of that walkout. Again, sometimes you see the bells and whistles of these young fighters coming out, the rapper behind him leading the way. Oh,
Dominic still doesn't know where he is. He's still completely, you know, has no idea what happened there. And it was the feint of the jab, switched him round to the left hook. We'll see it in the highlights, but a beautifully timed shot. He actually threw it earlier in the round as well and landed it beautifully. So saw that opening, obviously worked that, feint the jab, come around the side, left hand.
yeah, outstanding stuff. We should get a look at the replay. Talk us through it.
Here we see that coming around the gloves and drops him. And it was the same combination, as I said, that he utilized earlier. Feints that, comes round and drops his man, and then throws and carries on throwing until the referee is forced to stop the action. We didn't see much from Dominic. I expected him to come out a lot more aggressive, coming forward. He's extremely good on the feet when he wants to be. But the stats say it all. He only threw 7 shots in the entirety of the fight.
And a worthy return. And again, you jump back to that PML victory over PK Zahade, which earned the second return to the Octagon cage for Batfalski. And he called for this opportunity. And when it comes a second time, you know, you have to make the most of it, Luke, right? Otherwise, it's rare that it comes 3 times. But with a performance like that, he's made his mark, and now he will get the moment he's dreamt of since a kid, claiming a victory inside the Octagon cage. Let's make it official. Let's hand it to Andre Novotny.
So, ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute and 41 seconds, the winner coming from the red corner by TKO, Jakub Batfalski. Tak, Kubo, gratulace samozřejmě. Bylo to rychlejší, než jsi čekal?
Ne, já jsem věděl, že tento zápas ukončím v prvním kole.
My jsme se na to dívali a chci se tě zeptat, jestli si myslíš to, co jsme vlastně my komentovali, že je možný, že Toporcerovi se stalo to, co vlastně tobě v tom prvním zápase v Oktagonu, že to člověka sežere, ta velká hala, tolik lidí, taková atmosféra.
Jasné, určitě se mu to stalo, tyjo. Když já jsem tady nastupoval poprvé, tak mi tak zatvrdly ruce, ale dneska jsem byl úplně v klidu, jsem si čekal na svoji příležitost a vyšlo to.
Vyšlo to rozhodně, je někdo, komu bys chtěl poděkovat, po případě koho bys chtěl vyzvat?
Chtěl bych moc poděkovat za prvé Rickovi, že mi tady udělal super show, sledujte Hard Rico Tour, Krimi Tour, mizíme, potom bych chtěl poděkovat mojemu trenérovi Michal Mankijevič, Oktagon Team Češin, a největší poděkování tady patří tady těm 2 lidem, Robert Franek, Nešan a Vestisian, díky bráchové, bez vás by to nešlo. A ještě chci poděkovat, tuto přípravu jsem hodně trávil v Kickwolf Gym v Havířově, Mario Bortoli, děkuju, kámo. A v Drakulínu určitě taky zem.
Tak jo, kámo, pozdravuju Havířově a gratuluju. Jo?
8 roku. Na tady tu výhru jsem čekal už 8 let. Já Oktagon sedu od 14 nebo od 13 asi, jak jsem začal dělat MMA. A do píče, dneska se to konečně povedlo, děkuju.
Mámka nebude šťastná, že nadáváš. Jakub Batfalski.
That was a lightning-fast finish by Jakub Batwalski. He said that he knew that he would finish his opponent in the first round, and when asked if he thought that the same thing that happened to him his first fight in Oktagon happened to Toporcer, he said, for sure, the first fight I had in Oktagon, I was all stiff, I was overwhelmed, and I'm sure that's what happened to my opponent tonight. Today, he was able to wait for his shot, and he got it. He was stoked about it. He also thanked Hard Rico for getting him such a great walkout, his trainer, the Oktagon team Cheshin, his bros, and also Kickwolf and Dracolino, where he prepared a lot for this fight. He also said that he's been following Oktagon since he was 13 or 14, and this is truly a dream come true after 8 years of dreaming about this moment.
8 years in the making, from the moment he first got the taste of what Oktagon delivers to watching it rise across Europe and then making the walk himself. Not for the first time, but the second, this time leaving the cage victorious. Magic moment that young man will remember forever, Luke.
Yeah, done in style early on, and it took him a minute and a half to finish that fight. Came out with a completely different energy to before, and if he can continue that energy, you know, he has the skills, so we could see him rise through the ranks here at Oktagon. A great return from him and a great moment to open up our card here at Oktagon 65.
Yeah, that sees us free of the YouTube free prelim, and then we will move into the preliminary card, of course, topped by that Tip Sport Game Changer reserve match, which will see Dimic stepping in on short notice against Sadari. But next up, speaking of short notice, both these men got a phone call on Christmas Day. Peter Gabal, this will be his third fight of December. He won the first two by knockout, and one of them in just 18 seconds against Georgi Gogatachuri and Benjamin Bayrami. He won his last fight December 21st. Christmas Day, he was walking with his family. He said he got the greatest Christmas present of all when his manager phoned him to say tonight he'll be making his debut in the biggest promotion in Europe.
Peter Gabal will be stepping into the Oktagon MMA cage for the 5th time. To close out 2024, the Czech prospect takes on confident German newcomer Benny Bayrami. Fighting out of Fight Club Gelsenkirchen, Bayrami has captured the organization's attention with 5 stoppage victories. The confident prodigy